On this episode, we're continuing our Ranking Restaurants series, this time diving into the dining options at Magic Kingdom as we explore the best places to eat, from quick service gyms to sit-down dining experiences. Today's November 29th, 2024, and this is episode 724 of the Main Street Magic Podcast.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts. Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I am your host, Jeremy Stein, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rhonda.
Hey guys! Make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at mainstmagic, and on TikTok at MSM Podcast.
If you want to be part of the community and join the conversation, in addition to live streams from the parks and our weekly live show, head to Facebook and search for the Main Street Magic community and ask to join.
And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday.
Planning a trip to Disneyland or Walt Disney World can be overwhelming and at times just downright frustrating. But don't worry, because Mouse Dining removes the frustration of booking Disney dining reservations, alerting you when they spot availability for your desired restaurant, date, meal, and time. Visit msmfriends.com to use this free service. Ready for your next bucket list trip? Our trusted partner, MEI-Travel, will handle the planning so you can focus on the memories. They offer free vacation planning services and have nearly 20 years of experience creating memorable vacations. Visit mainstmagic.com/travel for a fee-free, no-obligation quote today.
So I hope everybody had a very happy Thanksgiving. I hope everybody had good food and fun and family.
Yeah, well, hopefully ours was good. We're recording a little bit early. Rhonda got off work early, which is good. Yeah. Kids are off school this week. A lot of people are off this week, so it's a little bit different than past years.
Yes.
But what we're going to talk about today is we are going to finish out the parks of our Ranking Restaurants series. We will do a Disney Springs, and then we'll probably do something around resorts. We were waiting on this Magic Kingdom one until we finally ate at Liberty Tree Tavern, which we did. Yeah, just earlier this month. That feels like a lifetime ago. Yet it is already almost Thanksgiving.
Yes.
So that's insane. And then, by the time you're hearing this episode, we'll be heading down to see Josh Gad at the Candlelight Processional.
Yeah.
Check out the International Festival of the Holidays. And so that's super exciting. Mm-hmm. Also, I'm very happy because I got our new merchandise printer, our direct-to-film printer, all set up. It is working. I'm going to start testing some stuff over the next month so that we're going to open an all-new merch shop by the beginning of the year. So very excited for that. We're going to start making all our own merch. But let's talk about dining, ranking restaurants, and we're going to do both quick service and we're going to do table service.
We're going to start out with quick service, though. Yeah,
and we'll do, we probably should have done this for the last three, but we're going to have a little bit of trivia or fun facts along with these. And then we're going to talk about some of our recommended items if you choose to go to these restaurants and all. Mm-hmm. So let's start off with our number 5. We are actually ranking these, in our opinion, from least favorite to favorite. I'm not going to say worst to best.
Yeah, because they're not bad.
No, not at all. But
none of these I would not choose to eat at. Does that make sense?
Not choose. I think that means you would choose or not choose. That was a double negative. Okay. What's number 5 for quick service?
Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe.
Yeah, so Cosmic Rays, as we've mentioned in the past, is apparently one of the most busy quick service style restaurants in the world.
That's amazing.
Which is absolutely nuts. But also, everybody's super familiar with Sunny Eclipse. Mm-hmm. He is their animatronic lounge singer. He has been there since 1995.
Oh, that's cool.
Like Disney does with everything, there are backstories. Whether you know them or not, they are there, and Sunny Eclipse, of course, has one. He's actually a Zorky musician from the city of Unork on the planet Zork. And whoever wrote this, they did not have to read it back. So they primarily lived underground to avoid the methane clouds on the surface. The entertainment capital of his planet, Sunny's Unork upbringing led him into the music business, and he began touring around the galaxy. After he lost his backup singers during a gig on Mars, he met the Invisible Space Angels, who have accompanied him ever since. He then found a nice long-term gig to serve as the in-house musician at the Starlight Lounge and Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe. It's the first Earth franchise restaurant in Tomorrowland.
Well, that's super cool.
So, there's always some sort of story behind everything they do. And I think it's just neat to know these types of things 100%. So that next time you go in there, there's like that connection. But this is burgers, fries, chicken tenders, spicy chicken sandwiches.
And they're all good.
They are. They're all good. But this is your standard theme park fare, right?
Yeah, but it's good. And sometimes when you're just like, we had some recently, the chicken tenders and some fries. And sometimes it's just good.
Yeah, and we've said before too, like this is the type of place that everyone can eat at.
Absolutely.
Which is important
yes,
sometimes, especially when you got picky eaters.
Yes.
They're certainly missing from the toppings bar that they used to have. And if that was still around, this would move way up the quick service list. It'd probably be a number 1 or a number 2 because those topping bars were game changers. Now, what is our number 4?
Pinocchio Village House.
Yeah, so here you can actually look for a wish book where guests can leave notes and wishes inspired by Pinocchio's dream of becoming a real boy.
I did not know that.
I know. And
you?
Honestly, no, I didn't. There's a lot of these things too, which is what I love about doing these types of episodes because we learn a lot as well.
Yes.
Like when you think about all the times that we've been lucky enough and fortunate enough to go to Disney, and this is one of the things I've said, like Keys to the Kingdom. You learn this entire backstory and the way they've created the Magic Kingdom and Cinderella Castle and, where the people that work in the castle live right there in Fantasyland. And then you go to the outskirts, which is kind of the new Fantasyland where Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and Little Mermaid and all are, which is more in like the woods and stuff. That's more of just the regular townspeople. But you don't know any of that unless somebody tells you.
Right.
I still wish there was more of a storytelling aspect for these types of things. I don't know how you would accomplish that, because it's not as easy as just saying, let's just throw a plaque up there that everybody has to read.
Right.
Like, I don't know what other way you do it, but I just think it's cool that there's all these different backstories to everything.
I agree.
So it's fun to learn about them.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it either.
So the flatbreads here are very good.
Yes, they are.
What is a shockingly good item here that I would say is awesome to stop for a snack, especially now that the weather's getting cooler, right?
Yes, and that is their tomato basil soup for only $3.99, and you can get some breadsticks with that for $6.99, and it's garlic breadsticks served with a house marinara sauce, or you can just dip it in your tomato basil soup.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I
love the tomato basil soup across property, I feel like.
And to get it from a quick service and it be really shockingly
Yes.
good. And then these breadsticks are not quite Olive Garden level, but they're that kind of size.
Yeah,
They're that type of breadstick, right? I think they're
Design.
missing. Yeah, that design, I think. They're just missing like more butter and herbs is all. But they're absolutely delicious. It's great for a snack. Shockingly, what comes in at number 3, which I know I have blasted for many, many years.
Yes, you have. And that is the Columbia Harbor House.
Yeah, so the restaurant's theme will subtly change depending on where you enter. So you can either enter from Liberty Square or you can enter from the Fantasyland side. So when you go into the Liberty Square side, it feels like colonial New England seafood tavern. When you come in through the Fantasyland side, it has more whimsical nautical touches to match the land's vibe.
Well, that's cool.
Of course, within Liberty Square, because during the time period that it takes place in America, there was no sewage. There are no bathrooms in Liberty Square. They get away with it in Columbia Harbor House by actually splitting it amongst technically Fantasyland and Liberty Square. So it is able to have a bathroom in one portion of it. What is a very good item here? While we have not had the full item, we've had all these items except for the Hush Puppies individually, right?
Yes, and that's the trio platter he's talking about. So this is a combination of beer battered shrimp, chicken, and beer battered fish served with French fries and Hush Puppies for $14.29. And I had the fish, and it was fantastic. Dare I say, as good as Yorkshire. Like, it was really good. Really good.
You said it.
I did.
I hate to say it because while I don't think the flavors are quite better than Yorkshire, I like this presentation of the smaller fish. Remember, because Yorkshire went to that giant fillet the same way that they do in Rose and Crown.
Yes.
And I think the ratios of fish to breading are just off now.
Yeah.
but they're perfect here.
This is good.
I had the shrimp platter.
This is very good.
They're wonderful.
Yep.
It's not going to, they're not like huge hand breaded shrimps you're going to get at some seafood place, you know, a hole in the wall at the beach, but they are good frozen shrimp.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
I've heard wonderful things about the hush puppies here.
Oh,
So
now I want some.
when I was very young, we would go, we visited Myrtle Beach every year with my mom's family, and we would always go to the all you can eat seafood places, Calabash seafood places. It's like a style of South Carolina frying, I guess, really.
Okay.
And because I was young, was not very bright, I did not understand what a hush puppy was. I was thinking of slush puppies, which you probably did not have here. They were served. Where did slush puppies come from? It wasn't 7-Eleven because those are Slurpees. It's that style of beverage. And it's got a little dog logo and all and everything.
Oh.
And so I thought
cute.
that's what it was. So I was so upset the one time we went and they served me these little basket of round breaded balls as opposed to delicious frozen beverage. And hush puppies come from the scraps, apparently in the South, that they would just throw to dogs and tell them hush, and be like hush puppies, and they take all these scraps, breaded scraps and stuff, and then that's kind of how they came about. So a little extra history for you.
That's fun.
Coming in at number 2, what do we got?
Casey's Corner.
Yeah, this spot is a nod to the 1888 Ernest Thayer poem Casey at the Bat.
Nice.
Obviously.
Yeah.
What's a great item here?
Well, all of their hot dogs.
Yeah, you can't. I mean,
They're
you can't
really
go wrong.
good.
Yeah,
They're really good.
I don't know the brand of hot dog that they actually use, but to me, it is very similar to a Nathan's.
Yeah.
It's got that same kind of flavor, and it's got that good snap on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
But what's really good?
Well, I would say to get this every time, if not just pop in and get one to have with your hot dog, but a frozen mint julep lemonade. This is classically blended mint julep featuring Minute Maid premium lemonade topped with fresh mint leaves and a cherry and lemon for $7.29, and it's so good. It's so refreshing, especially in the cooler times. Now that it's starting to get cooler, get a hot chocolate or something somewhere. But
yeah, but this
so
is
good.
just a good, light, refreshing beverage,
it is.
regardless.
Yep.
All right, that leaves one left. I don't think this will be a surprise because of the new menu items. We love this place. We always have.
We
and
always
I think
have.
we love so even
before,
more now.
and we're talking about Pecos Bill, Tall Tale Inn and Cafe.
Yeah, so if you actually go over to Big Thunder, and again, something I actually didn't know or I've never looked for, we'll look for next time prior to its closure here in January for a lengthy refurb. But there are signs for Pecos Bill, Tall Tale Cafe throughout in the queue. So Pecos Bill is a character that was created by Disney.
Okay.
Actually used to be involved over in Diamond Horseshoe at times with some of the show. And with his love interest. Oh, I can't remember the name now. It's something Sue. Anyway.
Susie Q.
Sure.
Just
that's
kidding.
not it. It's like Lazy Foot Sue or something weird. I don't even know. But so it's showing though that he lives in this time period. So that's kind of like canon to this whole Frontierland is Pecos Bill, the restaurant, Big Thunder Mountain, kind of bringing all those together. What's delicious here? All the new items are great. The Bill Gerones are wonderful.
Yes,
but
it
what
is.
one do we really
My
love?
favorite is a steamed tamale. This is green chili, cheese tamale with stewed pinto beans, queso fresco, and pico de gallo for $12.99. And you can add 3 different types of meat, and I would suggest the cilantro lime chicken.
Yeah.
It is fantastic.
Yeah. You can add
Love
more
it.
than one meat if you want. They're going to charge you extra, but you could get 2. I wouldn't mix
Ew.
the meats.
Really? I
Yeah,
would not do that.
I would not. The pork would be good probably with this as well. If you go back, we just didn't love the braised beef.
Yeah.
It's not bad. I just think the chicken or the pork's going to be a lot better. But
Yeah.
these bowls, even without the toppings bar that Pecos Bill used to have, which
Mm.
again was a game changer, you would talk about this probably number 1, Cosmic Rays number 2 with the toppings bars.
But now at Pecos Bill, you can ask for the toppings, and they are free, and they will give them to you. But you do have to pay for guacamole.
Yeah. But if you want little extra shredded cheese, if you want sour cream, if you want some salsa, pico, whatever it is, just ask them when you pick up your order, along with your free cup of ice water.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on to table service. And this one's hard. I mean, Magic Kingdom is not well known for their dining, and they're not well known, especially for, I'd say, table service. So this one gets a little bit hard, I think, to rank. But what do we have at number 7?
Tony's Town Square.
Yeah, so of course this is based off Lady and the Tramp, and this features a menu with what Tony would have served at the restaurant in Lady and the Tramp.
Right.
How, I guess, there's no real like standout items. Like everything, I would say everything we've had here is not bad. Everything we've had here is not great. Everything we've had here is good. Right?
Well,
like, how would you describe Tony's Town Square?
Well, I would describe it better now because that they changed some stuff. So the more recent that we have eaten, which now has been a while, but prior to that, was not very. It was very
Plain.
Olive Garden-y, like. But and that's how I explained it. And I was like, but you're eating Olive Garden, and some people love that. It is not like where you're like, oh, I feel like I'm in Italy or whatever.
Right.
But ever since they did change some of it, I feel like it was better. When they added the drinks, the lemon limoncello sidecar.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And the food was better.
Yeah.
In my opinion, a step up from Olive Garden, but still not your, an Italian's not going to go there and go, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
So, which is fine because I'm not Italian and I want to maybe sit on Main Street and eat outside and watch a parade go by.
Right.
So,
yeah, this is like Italian food for non-Italians, right? Like I've always said that Flame Tree over at Animal Kingdom is good barbecue for people that don't know good barbecue.
Yeah.
This is Italian food for your standard non-Italian American, I would say, right? This is the type of stuff that most everybody grew up on. Again, unless you had an Italian grandmother or parents or something, whatever. This is very much like, let's grab everything we got in the pantry. We got some fresh stuff in the fridge. Let's put it together. But, we're not scratch making anything. This isn't like your little whatever noni in the kitchen, hand rolling meatballs all day or anything. So when people come to Disney and they say, where can I find good Italian? Like, we don't direct them to Tony's.
Right.
But if they say, I'm going to be in the parks, where can I get some Italian? Then you're like, all right, well, if you just want like your run-of-the-mill, Italian, here you go. You can get it in Magic Kingdom. You can get it at these different places. But if you're talking about real deal Italian, you're talking about probably a Trattoria Al Forno, Terralina, crafted. We absolutely loved. How would you compare, and I know normally via Napoli we would eat pizza, how would you compare Tony's Town Square regular dishes to probably via Napoli? Because I think they're fairly similar, and I would actually almost give the edge now to Via Napoli just based on the atmosphere and everything in there, as opposed to Tony's Town Square.
But it's also been a hot minute since I've been there, so I really don't remember. I will say Tony's Town Square is leaps and bounds over Mama
Melrose. Yeah, the experience that we had, it is definitely much, much better than Mama Melrose.
Like Tony's Town Square to me tastes like real Italian compared to Mama Melrose. Is that bad?
Gosh, that's really bad. Yeah. We'll have to go back to Mama Melrose and see if it's still as bad as that time. But yeah, and I think even with the atmosphere of Tony's, like I would almost describe it as like if somebody opened, I mean, heck, it's not that far from like a Pizza Rizzo. Like the Terralinas and the Trattorias have much more of what I feel like seems like an authentic Italian feel, as opposed to the Tony's Town Square, which it kind of feels like somebody just opened a quick service restaurant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to be honest, that's kind of what the food is like. Like if this was quick service Italian, it'd be pretty good quick service Italian.
Yeah.
But for a table service, it's just kind of run of the mill standard, right?
Yeah. Okay.
What comes in at number 6?
The Crystal Palace.
Yeah, so the Crystal Palace is a nod to the original Crystal Palace, an enormous glass structure built in London in 1851 for the Great Exhibition. Disney's version brings a bit of that grandiosity to the park. What is pricing here? This is our first buffet or family style that we will talk about. What does it cost to eat at Crystal Palace for your breakfast, or you can do lunch and dinner?
Right. And your breakfast will run you about $52 per adult plus tax and gratuity, $33 per child, which is, of course, 3 to 9. Lunch and dinner is $62 per adult and then $43 per child.
Yeah, so, we've eaten...
This
We've
is
eaten
with
here
Pooh
once.
Bear, right?
Yeah, this has Pooh and friends.
Mm-hmm.
It is absolutely gorgeous inside.
Oh, very.
And I will say the food is better than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
But it's pretty standard buffet style food.
Mm-hmm.
The one bonus that it has is if you have ever been on Disney Cruise Line, at least one morning when you head up to like Cabanas, they're going to have churro waffles, Mickey waffles. Crystal Palace is the only place on Walt Disney World property that serves them.
They're so good.
So it's worth going there just for
Yes,
breakfast
it
for
is.
sure for those.
Yes, it is.
But it's one of those I think it's definitely worth checking out
yeah.
because it's just so iconic when you walk in there. Everybody's walked past the Crystal Palace.
Yes.
Everybody's seen people waiting out on the front porch.
Yep.
They've heard the cast members come out and yell names. You know what I mean? So it's got to intrigue everybody to go there at least once, right?
Yeah, I
So-
would think so.
All right, what comes in at number 5?
The Plaza.
So this is one of the original dining locations in Magic Kingdom. It actually opened in 1971
Wow.
with Walt Disney World in Magic
That's
Kingdom.
awesome.
So that classic decor, nostalgic feel, and it is very nostalgic. It is taking everything that you see walking down Main Street and shoving it into a restaurant, which has made it a very beloved spot.
Yeah.
How do you like the Plaza? We've now dined here a few times.
It's small.
It's tiny.
It's so small.
intimate,
Very.
which I think leads to the nostalgia.
Yes.
You know, because if you're walking down, you know, this old-timey Main Street, you know, where Walt grew up, you're kind of thinking of, then,
Yeah.
you know, you're not going to walk into this grand, like Crystal Palace, for example.
Right.
You're not going to walk into this big grand restaurant that seats all these people. It's going to be small. It's going to be intimate. And that's exactly what this is.
It is.
Right?
100%.
How's the food?
Wonderful, and pretty much everything. So we will tell you pretty much our favorites, which is the Plaza loaded fries. This is crispy fries, melted cheddar, bacon, green onion, and spicy sour cream for $15. It's exactly what it says.
It is,
It's
right?
exactly, and it's really like good. Like I'm not sure why.
I don't either.
I mean, but it's great.
Yeah. It's kind of unexpected, I think.
Yeah.
You know, and you go in here and you just don't think there's gonna be something like loaded fries. And again, they're standard theme park fries. It's standard melted cheddar, bacon, green onion, and then this kind of sour cream. There shouldn't be any reason that this is as good as it is, but it's delicious.
It is. And then, of course, one of my favorites is the chicken Waldorf salad. This is mixed lettuces with pulled chicken, spiced pecans, apples, grapes, celery, blue cheese tossed in an apple cider vinaigrette for $20. First of all, this thing is fresh, amazing, so good. And you can take it to go, drive home 2.5 hours, eat it later. Yes, the lettuces are a little wilty or whatever they call it. But because everything else is so good and all of the taste together just don't care if it's wilty. It's still good. It's so good. I ate it all.
Yeah. I mean, nothing on property is giving Cobb salads a run for their money, whether it's at, I would say, probably the Hollywood Brown Derby or over at Grand Flow Cafe or potentially at Summer House. But if you take Cobb salad just in general out of the picture, this has to be one of the best, if not the best salads that we've had on property, don't you think?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
It's so
a Waldorf
good.
salad is very good, period. That's that type of salad. So that's something I would be like, all right, the Plaza has the best.
Yeah.
Let's see what this one has.
Right.
You know, so I feel like I could see myself trying those.
Yeah, at other places.
So
They used to have a crab cake sandwich that was actually very good as a crab cake sandwich. Now, if it was a standalone crab cake, not quite as good,
Right.
but it was really good on a sandwich. It's not on the menu anymore. And they always have wonderful specialty items, especially when it comes to desserts during the holidays.
So fun.
Like that burger that we had at Halloween, which was actually a savory item. They had a specialty burger, spicy, had a black bun. Absolutely outstanding.
Yes, it was.
I actually really like the Plaza.
Yeah.
And the Plaza to me is a great spot to unexpectedly go to.
Yeah.
It's one of those that all of a sudden you didn't have planned for sit down, but maybe you look up and you go, oh, you know what? We can head to the Plaza. Like we're either going to walk up list or we can get a reservation in like an hour, and you just go and you're actually pleasantly surprised. Number 4 might surprise some people where it falls on the list. We can always come back and update this list if need be, because it has been some time since we've dined at Be Our Guest, and we have not done the prefixed meal. Because every time we look to do it, I just look at the price, and honestly, I just don't think we're that impressed. Right?
Okay.
We enjoyed the food all the time when they had the breakfast and they had the quick service style lunch.
Right.
But what do you think overall of Be Our Guest? And I mean, look at the lunch. What's lunch and dinner pricing now? Because it gets up there.
Lunch and dinner pricing is $72 per adult.
It's a lot.
And of course that's plus tax and gratuity. $43 per child.
Yeah.
So it is a lot. I mean, that's almost $100. And that's where it's hard, because the Be Our Guest restaurant, to me, I mean, maybe I'd pay this price if there was is the lunch and dinner, is the Beast and Belle walking around?
No, I believe it's still only dinner. This is not, it's not character dining.
Right.
Right. So you get Belle and Beast, potentially Beast, walking around, during your dinner time. So yeah, I think the direction you're heading is this either needs to be made a legit character dining.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Or I think they need to go back to the way things were. Because you've got, first of all, you have 6 other table service restaurants in Magic Kingdom. Mm-hmm. That's a lot.
Yeah.
It's not like you're hurting for table service restaurants.
Right.
You have Cinderella's Royal Table, which is eating in a castle with princesses in a sit-down atmosphere. Mm-hmm. So keep this as, even if you go back to serving your quick service breakfast, your quick service lunch, and that prefix dinner, okay, but I really think it should be more of an opportunity for everybody to enjoy it. I think it's okay keeping Cinderella Royal Table is very unique, hard to get. Like that should be very, very special. I think Be Our Guest could be made a lot more accessible, especially with the size of it.
Yeah,
it's huge.
It is.
Right? You've got 3 rooms. You've got the library, you got the ballroom, and you got the West Wing. Mm-hmm. Over at the West Wing, if you're sitting there, you have the rose, and as you sit there, you can actually watch the petals fall. Like this place is amazing, and I don't think enough people get to experience it.
Yes, I do love that.
Like, go back and just give me for lunch the French dip sandwich they used to have. It was outstanding.
Yeah, it was.
So that's kind of why it falls down on our list, I think, a little bit. All right, number 3, we've lumped 2 together because they're pretty much the same restaurant now.
And that's the Diamond Horseshoe and Liberty Tree Tavern.
Yeah, so we'll talk a little bit more kind of just about Diamond Horseshoe, because it refers to the type of venue popular during the Gold Rush era where gamblers, adventurers, and cowboys would gather. Disney version keeps this tradition alive with its rustic decor and frontier charm. Diamond Horseshoe used to have a full show. And
that's right.
so
Isn't there
that
a small stage or something?
Yeah, there's a small stage still up there. Then it's gone through so many changes. Now it's serving the same. It used to have its own menu. Now it's serving the same menu as Liberty Tree Tavern.
Oh wow.
Which we had recently. Both of these are priced lunch and dinner, $44 for an adult, $24 for a child. Traditional American Thanksgiving.
Yep.
What do you think of Liberty Tree Tavern? We'll talk more about that.
Yeah, and we've walked through the Diamond Horseshoe for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween.
Yeah, and the Christmas party. Usually, we'll see this year. It's been so long if they've got a cookie and hot chocolate. There, which they normally do,
or an eggnog or whatever.
Yep.
But yeah, so Liberty Tree Tavern is super cute. The colonial and all that I do love, and Diamond Horseshoe is super cute. It does totally remind me of like there should be almost like Hoop-Dee-Doo.
Very much
without that.
Very much so.
Where I feel like there should be cowgirls and that'd be cute.
I wish I'd go back to a stage show.
Yeah.
I mean, I do. What do you think of the food?
Oh my gosh, the food's fantastic.
So good.
We really, really enjoyed it. Like I said, I look forward to this next year. I don't know, maybe maybe March, maybe
Go
maybe
back?
June,
Yeah.
maybe I don't know, but
Right.
yes,
We'll go for your
back.
birthday. How about that?
Yes.
Yeah, it's so funny because if you went back 1 month or 2 months ago and we talked about doing this episode before having Liberty Tree, I don't think I would have guessed that it would fall at number 3, would you? I would have thought this would have fallen probably up towards the top of or bottom. Never get it
The
right.
bottom.
The bottom, right?
Yes.
I would have thought this would have been another number 6 or 7 or something. I wouldn't have expected us to love this as much as we do.
I agree.
And I love everything about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it had if you love, as you're just saying, Hoop-de-Doo and Fort Wilderness, if you love that vibe that's over there, this is such a perfect place.
Yes, it
This
is.
reminds me of a restaurant that could be at Fort Wilderness.
I agree.
Or with the announcement of the new DVC property, they officially announced coming the tower right there at Fort Wilderness.
That's crazy.
It would be cool to put something like this maybe in there.
Yeah.
So we'll see what they do over there.
Do you think
but,
we'll finally get DVC and we'll own there? Because we'll own it.
yeah,
Fort
I don't
Wilderness.
know. I don't know because it's falling separate. It's not a Fort Wilderness property. It's the same footprint. It's the same designs as when it was going to be Reflections. So it's going to be its own standalone. It's just going to be right there at Fort Wilderness. So I believe that they would sell these separately from the cabins. And I don't know what that access will be. It'll probably fall more like a Riviera, where Riviera has limited access to what they're able to book at those certain periods. So it might fall more like a Riviera. It's going to be, I think, much more of like a boutique and smaller type resort, much like Riviera is. But I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
You know, I think it'll be super cool. All right, let's move on to number 2.
One of your favorites.
Absolutely. One of my favorites. I still think it's the most underrated restaurant on property.
And we are talking about the Jungle Navigation Company Ltd. Skipper Canteen.
So, you know, I could not remember what this was prior to Skipper Canteen. But it was actually the Adventureland Veranda, which first opened in 1971 when the rest of the park opened. It was a counter surf restaurant all the way up until 1994. So when it closed, the space was generally reserved for special events and served as a location for Pixie Hollow meet and greets with Tinkerbell and her friends from 2011 to 2014, which I do vaguely remember now.
Didn't we meet her?
We did.
Did we meet her there?
Yes. I vaguely remember.
Oh, I do too.
I know. Skipper Canteen was announced as moving into the space at D23 in 2015, and then it opened to guests just a few months later in December 15th of 2015.
Wow.
Yeah, which is actually shocking.
That is.
Why can't we get that with the Pirates of the Caribbean
Listen,
pub
man.
lounge thing, right? Announce it 2 months later, just have at it. Let's open it.
Right.
There's everything on this menu is good.
Yes, it is.
You know, you can get the Brazilian cheese bread with the cream cheese and the pesto. It's not on the menu.
So good.
Absolutely love their Falls Family falafel.
Yes. Yes.
Their Aranco Ida's cachapas, which is like this little house-made corn pancakes with beer braised pork, roasted corn, pepper salsa, avocado cream.
That's so good.
Their steak's amazing. Their taste like chicken because it is. Their hearty char pork. Their fried rice. Their noodle. Like everything here is really, really good.
Yes. Yes, it is.
So that only leaves one.
Yes, and everybody knows what it is.
What do we got?
Cinderella's Royal Table.
So this was originally King Stephen's Banquet Hall. It was the first full-service dining location in the Magic Kingdom, and its original name caused confusion since King Stephen is from Sleeping Beauty, not Cinderella.
Huh.
So
That's
hence the
kinda
update,
cool.
Cinderella's Royal Table. This is pricey, right?
It is, but I mean, the breakfast pricing is $74 per adult plus tax and gratuity, of course, $45 per child. Lunch and dinner is, I mean, only $88. That's not
You said only $88.
Well-
Almost $100 a person.
well. So is Beauty and Be Our Guest,
Right. No, I
But
agree.
this has the, I mean, I don't know. I think it's just so different, unfortunately, because you walk up the staircase, the beautiful, and then you walk into this beautiful royal table area, and it's not giant, but there's a lot of it in there, a lot of seats in there, and you don't feel like you're in a cafeteria. And I mean, Yeah, I mean, I said only 88 per adult, but then 52 per child. But this too, like, again, I don't know over at Be Our Guest because we haven't been, but this is a 3-course meal that you're getting.
And everything we've had here has always been
It's always
super
been
good
so
and
good.
delicious.
And I mean, so it's not like you're just getting, it's 88 and, you get family style or you get like.
Well, think of it this way. How much would you pay to eat in Cinderella's castle, right? Let's just say you'd pay, that's worth $10.
$10?
I'm just saying, listen. It's $3. Let's just say that's worth $10 to you, right?
It's highway robbery.
It's worth $10 to have 4 princesses come by your table, right?
It's
worth
$10.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Like I'm trying to think here, like if the cost of eating in the castle, getting to walk up that round staircase as you enter, being kind of like, almost introduced, having the princesses come around. Like if all of those things are worth a certain value, right? Let's just say you'd pay easily $25, $30 a person for that. Well, then you're looking now at $50 to $60 is your cost of food for a 3-course meal. And that's where I think it's easier to like stomach that. I think this is, I don't think Cinderella's Royal Table is worth doing multiple times unless you get to go as much as we do. Like if you go once a year, I would make sure one of those years you do Cinderella's Royal Table. But I wouldn't necessarily do it every year because there's other things you could do.
Oh, yeah.
But I do think that if you want to talk about top dining experiences on property, whether you want to say 5, 10, however many on property, this is easily falling in there. And I think it's a must for people, whether you got little princesses, princes, whether you're just you and I celebrating our anniversary on Dapper Day and Disney bounding as Ariel and Eric like we did.
Yes.
It is so much fun. It's such a unique experience.
Yes, it is.
Like I think everybody should do it at least once if you have that opportunity.
Yes.
Now, let's just say you're doing your once-in-a-lifetime trip.
I'd still eat here.
You still put this on there?
Absolutely.
I think so, too. I'd put it up there with,
if you were like, oh, should I go here or Be Our Guest? Be Our Guest is, and Beauty and the Beast is my absolutely favorite of all time. You put up animation and live action. I will pick it over Cinderella.
Yeah.
I do love Cinderella's Cinderella's animation and the live action as well, but it still falls at number 2. Yeah. But if you were like, where do you want to go eat? Beauty and the Beast or Cinderella's? I'd be like Cinderella.
It's the best. It's the best princess.
It is
character dining on property. Like when you look at places like Akershus, very cool.
It is,
but there's nothing like walking into
Nope.
Cinderella's castle.
Yep.
Now again, if we were talking about this being a Frozen themed land, and all of a sudden there's Elsa's castle or the Frozen castle. I guess it'd be Elsa and Anna's, but and you're walking into there, then that's different. But you're walking into a nondescript Norwegian castle.
Right.
You get to meet some princesses, and the food's good, and the interaction's wonderful, right? Go over to a 1900 park fair. You've got Tiana, you've got Cinderella, you got Mirabelle, you're adding Aladdin in there, but nothing touches being in Cinderella's castle.
Mm-hmm.
So
I agree.
And that's what's great is that the food is actually good.
Yes, it is.
So win-win.
We've never had anything bad.
No.
It just was the one year that was rich because
it went right through us. It did. Everything there is a bit on the
good though.
rich side.
It's real good. Lots of butter.
To be fair, going back, we did that. I know that Lacey was under the age of 3.
Yeah.
Right? Because we didn't pay for her. We did the dining plan, and we used 2 credits.
Yep.
Because this is a 2 credit here.
Yep.
And I think it's worth that trade-in of 2 dining credits on the dining plan.
100%.
So Lacey's now 14. This was at least 11 years ago, at minimum. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We were not eating the way that we do then, because we weren't pass holders yet.
Right.
We weren't going to Disney all the time. Our culinary expertise at that point was whatever a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old are eating that's easy around the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we weren't used to eating I feel like these
and
gourmet, high quality, rich, buttery, whatever meals.
Yeah.
And we had to.
Well, yeah. And I was probably still trying to I felt like baby weight off or something. So I was trying to be.
She wasn't a baby. She was like at least 2 or 3.
Listen, man.
It took a while.
Sometimes Second child.
True. Highly recommend
Anyways.
Cinderella's Royal Table.
Yes.
I absolutely love it here.
So good.
Hopefully this helps y'all when you're making those dining selections. Of course, you can go back. We finished with Magic Kingdom as far as the parks go because we had to eat at Liberty Tree.
Yay.
But if you go back, we have covered Epcot, we have covered Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom, and we have ranked our restaurants there. We will go ahead and do Disney Springs, and then we'll figure out a way to move on to the resorts. I think what we'll have to do is just say, here's our 5 top quick service and our 5 top table service that are located at resorts, because we certainly can't rank all of them. That'd be multi-episodes. Or it'd be like 6 hours long. Because who knows what else we'd get into. If you want to hear that coming up, if you want to hear all about the amazing trip reviews, dining reviews, everything that we have coming, that includes our first time dining fully, having other than appetizers at Chef de France. We're going to go ahead and see Josh Gad. We have a very cool other thing that's happening that we will surprise y'all with and share. That'll get its own episode. We've got the creperie in Paris coming up. We just have to stick with it for Ralph Macchio. Yeah, there's no other dining that has popped up. I've been trying to secure something else, been trying to use mouse dining, and it's just, the Candlelight Processional is so popular. Yeah. And they've got some amazing narrators this year. So I'll continue to try to see if we can switch it up, but if not, we will do the creperie. So we've got that coming up. Yeah, we've got all kinds of holiday treats. We've got the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party coming up.
Yay.
Like, super excited. You got to get all that. You got to hear it, but you got to hit subscribe. You get those brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. And if you are ready for that next trip, of course, no matter where you want to go, our trusted partner, MEI-Travel, will handle the planning so you can focus on the memories. They offer free vacation planning services and have nearly 20 years of experience creating memorable vacations. Visit mainstmagic.com/travel for a fee-free, no-obligation quote today. Of course, as long as you're out there, Rhonda and myself would be super duper happy and thankful if you could please leave us a rating and review.
Because it helps our show grow.
That's all we've got. We'll see you real soon.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.